So let's now turn our attention to revenue for a monopolist. So if you remember when we had perfect competition, each individual firm faced a flat demand curve. They could sell as much as they wanted and always got that market price, because that market price was determined by the market as a whole, and each individual firm could influence that. So in perfect competition, each firm faced a flat demand curve. Because no matter how much they sold, they always got the same price. So they could sell as much as they wanted for the market determined price. So market determined price. So remember, that meant the price was equal to the marginal revenue. Remember, they had that flat demand curve and the price was equal to the marginal revenue because they always got that same price no matter how many they sold. Well, here this is a bit different, right? Here, for a monopolist, their demand curve is the market demand curve. And if we assume that the law of demand holds, that means it's downward sloping. So in this case, the price isn't going to always be equal to the marginal revenue. To sell more, the firm needs to lower their price. So they must lower the price if they want to sell more. And so here we're not going to get this same kind of identity where price equals marginal revenue. Here marginal revenue is going to be below the price, below the demand curve, because in order to keep on selling more quantity, the firm needs to lower its price for all the goods they sell. You know, this is assuming it's a one price monopoly. So let's quickly erase this and let's do a quick kind of numerical example to kind of show what's happening here. All right, so let's make a list of different prices, different quantities. So price and quantity, this is kind of the demand curve, right? And then we could have total revenue. Remember, total revenue is just price times quantity. We could think about what average revenue is going to be for a monopolist. And then finally, we can think about the marginal revenue, which is going to be the change in total revenue when we sell one more unit. All right, so let's just start at a price of $4.50, and let's say the quantity demanded is 0. I'm just going to list a whole bunch of prices and quantities down here. So $4, $3.50, $3, $2.50. That's probably enough. Quantities will just go up by 1. Just kind of looking for the pattern here. So total revenue is 0. You're selling 0. Total revenue is price times quantity, so $4, $3.50 times 2, $7 when you sell 2 units, $9 when you sell 3, finally $10 when you sell 4, maybe we'll do a couple more, 5 and 6, again 10, and then I think this is $9. So this is these are in dollars, obviously. So average revenue, well, total revenue divided by 0, I mean, can't really say anything about that. Undefined. So let's think about the average revenue, which is the total revenue divided by Q, is 4, it's $3.50. So look at the average revenue is the same as the price, right? So that's something we're seeing here. If we take the total revenue divided by the quantity, we get the average revenue, and that's going to be equal to the price. $2.50, that's supposed to say $2.50, $2 and $1.50. Again, that's supposed to say $1.50. Now let's think about the marginal revenue. Well, the marginal revenue is the change in total revenue. So if we see the change between going from $0 in total revenue to 4, that means the marginal revenue is 4. We see that when we sell that second unit, our total revenue goes up from $4 to $7, it goes up by $3. 7 to 9, $2. 9 to 10, $1. 0, and then -1. So if we think about these first two columns as pretty well being kind of the demand curve, if you look at the marginal revenue, it's below the price, right? So it's below the demand curve. So if we drew out, this pen will cooperate with me, if we drew out a price and quantity, we could plot out, at $4.50, the quantity demanded is 0, and we could draw this downward sloping demand curve. Maybe I'll try to pick a pen that actually has some ink in it. And this is just us drawing these first two columns, kind of sketching it out, right? And if we wanted to draw our marginal revenue, we can see that it's going to be below the price, which means it's going to be below this demand curve. So for a given quantity, the marginal revenue is below the demand curve. Well, that means the marginal revenue curve is going to look something like this. It's going to have a steeper slope than the demand curve. And the reason why is because if we want to sell more units, if they want to sell 2 units instead of 1, they have to lower the price on both of those 2 units to $3.50. They don't, if it's a single price monopolist, they don't get to charge the first quantity, the first good, $4, and the second one $3.50. They have to lower the price on all of them. So this is why the marginal revenue curve is below the demand curve.